A very good morning, guys. Welcome back as we are continuing and knowing about the Indian Constitution. And today's topic will let you know about the one what we call reading Constituent Assembly debates. The drafting chairperson, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, how the proceedings, the presentation, in what manner he has performed over there in this Constituent Assembly through his draft, like making a rough copy. So when we talk about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he is the first law minister of our country. He is an historian, he is an economist, he is a politician. So what things he is going to be made clear in his presentation related to regarding Constituent Assembly debates. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the CA in 1948, the Constituent Assembly in 1948, he has made all the proceedings which was regarded. That recordings are going to be present over there in Assembly. And what he was talking especially related to this, most of the people who are not elected by adult suffrage or UAF, Universal Adult Franchise, and maximum number of members are only the general public. He began with this process, and also that he states that clearly, that is on Thursday, 4th November 1948, as a drafting chairperson. In this drafting settlement, like as settled by the draft committee. So what are the things which are there in this committee? He started his explanation, he started his presentation. So all these are the things which are there. Clearly he was expressing to Honorable President Sir. Being the drafting chairperson, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was presenting to the President, Honorable President Sir, and he started. So what things are enrolled or enshrined over there in this Constitution? He has made various types of committees. Union Powers Committee, Advisory Committee, the committee which is based upon fundamental rights to secure for all the minorities and tribals, and all these are the committees especially made intention for what means to know the importance of values, how the people can make usage of fundamental rights. So like in the school, like how we find different types of subjects like mathematics, general science, social studies, including the languages like Telugu, Hindi, English. How these are there? Here also the same, like Union Power Committee, Advisory Committee, Constitution Committee. So all these committees makes what means as per the decision what people have to follow and it should be made. And especially to protect the fundamental rights of minorities and tribals, with which he has been included the one what we call the Government of India Act 1935. So all these are the things which he has been made formidable document in the 395 articles and as well as 8 schedules. In the initial stage, 395 articles and 8 schedules are constituted there in this Constitution. So what he was trying to make us clear in this Constituent Assembly debates, expressing the ideology, how we have adapted from other nations, and in what way these are applicable in our nation. How can we make the best usage of these rights, duties, knowing of all the committees with general public maximum who are there in that he started presenting. And not only that, he says that clearly these are the things like constitution from other countries. We have borrowed from other countries to know the importance and significance, how other nations are following, how our nation is going to be followed. All these things which made significant, and then immediately after attaining independence, Immediately after 1 year, we made all such type of constituent assembly related things. So that all what it describes regarding the one what we call reading constituent assembly debates. After the debates, now we are discussing about the one what we call parliamentary system. So here, what is that parliamentary system? A student of constitutional law is asking the question, a copy which was presented in front of him, and definitely the student should ask such type of question. And what are the two questions which he started? What is the form of government? That is the first question. Followed, what is the form of constitution? So I begin with these two questions, how the parliamentary system is going to be worked. As I informed you earlier, Indian constitution is the lengthiest and written constitution in the world, and it is bulky. So with connectivity of the drafting constitution, in which the committee members to know such type of importance and regard, how these are connected to parliamentary system. As we know, the three important organs, legislative, executive, judiciary. Legislative work to make the law, executive to implement the law, judiciary to protect the law. So in this connectivity, if we talk about the two differences, parliamentary system of government and presidential system of government, and these two comparison is quite different. We can't make these two as oneness, because parliamentary system is different, presidential system is different. So parliamentary system which we followed in our country, like in the initial stage, how was the rule? As you know, like England, France, like the rulers who ruled, especially when we talk about England Revolution, like what we call Glorious Revolution, William of Orange and his wife Mary. And when we talk about the France, how Nicholas II was responsible. So why we are talking all this means, all these things to put an end, and we started introducing of these two systems. Especially when we talk about parliamentary system, no power to do so long as his ministers. So that means majority is depend upon only the parliament. That is what we call council of ministers and as well as prime minister. So what I want to make you clear is that only one thing here. How can you make these two differences differently? Means here in our country, prime minister is real, president is nominal. But whereas United States of America, president is final, he is the real one. What variations, how can you make these two things differently? You can show means here the president, he can appoint any secretaries for his own administration. Like department wise, we have various departments: agriculture, irrigation, electricity, educational. All these are the types of departments how we are finding. Here also, to make the administration related to America, he can make of his own choice. And not only that, at the same time, he has the power to remove any secretaries, and he may replace and appoint in that place. So by that, what we can say means the entire power is only vested in the hands of president. So hence we call that as presidential type of government. But whereas there in our country like India, president is not having any power to remove any council of ministers or the ministers. So that by that we can say here in our country the president is nominal, in USA the president is real. These two variations what they have been made a conclusion. This is what a student of constitutional law is asking. Like if you take the two differences between government and constitution. For example, if you take an institution like schooling, if you take the school education, the top class what we call 10th standard, the school and classroom will be constant like what we call constitution. But whereas the government will be changed. Like the school structure, the class will be as usual, but the batches will change. Last year batch present batch, the upcoming batch. These batches will be changed. In the same manner, constitution is permanent, government is temporary. Any government may change, but all these are the governments they have to follow according to the constitution. That's what it makes us clear regarding these two. With one word, I want to conclude this topic related to parliamentary and presidential. Only simple. In America, president is real. In India, president is nominal. That variations make you clear regarding presidential and as well as parliament. Here the president, he don't have any right or power or authority to remove the ministers. But whereas here, he have all such type of rights. He enjoys a lot. That variations makes, that contrast makes us to understand the difference between parliamentary and presidential. So after parliamentary, the next what we are talking about, the one what we call federalism. Federalism is a word which was characterized and made with the two important, one what we call as unitary and federal. These are the two which was characterized there in this one word what we call federalism. So in this, how this central polity, like having one system of government or political organization, a dual polity what it maintained here. So in this what we have to understand and know is that both the government working systematically under one, both central and as well as state government. So how to make you clear only the simple, like what we call, if you take a mobile in which how we are using the dual SIM. One is Airtel, the other one is Jio. Like in the same manner, there in this federalism, unitary and as well as federal, both together are inserted in this. And though the various choices which they have been made in this administration of word what we call federalism, but even though we have made a lot of changes in this and how we are making these things to understand easily, if you have a comparison between India and as well as United States of America, our India is possessing only the one what we call single citizenship. The person wherever he reside from any corner of the country, east to west, north to south, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, wherever he reside, that what we have given only the one what we call single citizenship. So that is what our constitution has been framed in this drafting constitution, making all these things to follow. And as you know that the three important organs like legislative, executive, judiciary, every organ is having its own administration. In that administration, how can we mix and mingle with these two and how the system of government can be made forward? So this is what we have to know and we have to understand in this. Like what it says means if you take 20 different laws of 20 different states in the Indian Union. So all these are applicable for one. In spite of all the choices, whatever it making in this constitution, that what we are making of the one as oneness, unity, integrity, and the diversity what we have inculcated and making that to understand that. In this connectivity, we find out the various like union of marriage, divorce, inheritance of property, family relations, torts, crimes, weights and measures, bills and checks, banking and commerce. All these are the things which are there in which like we have seen these all. So that all are making as what means though it is having the different laws in different states, but we are having only the oneness. By that we can say we are giving only the one what we call single citizenship. Wherever he resides, wherever he is. So such type of thing what it says here, federation is having a uniformity, making the things like unity, integrity and making the sovereign. Sovereign is nothing but power. So that power how we are inculcating and how we are making in administration means in smooth and fair manner. So such type of variations are not there when we talk about citizenship like what we are following in our country, that is what we call single citizenship. But whereas America they are having dual citizenship. So all these which are there together in oneness. So that is what we are making the word to understand you clearly. That is what we call federalism. as I said you just now, in a mobile, what we are having the dual SIMs like Airtel and Jio. So together, what it is and how it is functioning, like central government and state government. So these together, which is only making of one what we call federal characteristics, which they have been enshrined over there in this constitution with the making, and all these are the things which are recorded and made clear to follow such type of one what we call federalism. So the draft constitution consisting of the three important: a single judiciary, uniformity in fundamental laws, civil and criminal, and a common all India civil services to man important post. So how this classification we can make, especially related to one what we call the draft constitution. The first, let us talk clearly, a single judiciary. So in this judiciary, when you talk about that, district, state, national. In district, we are going to have the two important courts like what we call district session court, district civil court. Coming to the state, high court is the highest at the state level. Coming to the nation, Supreme Court. So all these are only the things which they maintain in what aspect means to follow the rules and regulations systematically as per the one organ what we call judiciary. That what it makes clear understanding regarding the one what we call judiciary, in which the three like related to three importance like district court, state court, and the highest at the country level court. These are the three things like what we are finding especially here, district session court and district level. This is district session court and civil courts, and state level what we, as you know, that what we call as high court, highest in the state level. So state level what we are going to find the high court, and the country level we find the one what we call Supreme Court. District courts at the district level, state court that is what we call high court, and country level what we are finding, this is what we call Supreme Court. So these are the divisions what we can make through one what we call a single judiciary. District level, state level, country level. District level only the district like what we call district session court, district civil court. Highest at the state level what we call high court, and country level what we call Supreme Court. That is the first organ what it indicates the one what we call a single judiciary. Coming to the next what we call uniformity in fundamental laws, civil and criminal. So in these aspects we know about the one as what it describes clearly related to the cases like Indian Penal Code, marriage, inheritance, property, divorce, torts, Indian Penal Code. All these are the things with which we are going to be find the laws which are appropriated. So here how these can be make such type of variations in having such type of related to like civil and criminal. These are the procedure in which what we are going to be following. That what it says especially about the one what we call civil and criminal cases related. Like to make you clear, civil cases related for what? Marriage, divorce, inheritance of property, torts. So all these things what it comes under. And next coming to the criminal like murder, rape, kidnapping, dacoity. All these things comes under the one what we call criminal. And if you are breaking the constitutional law like violating fundamental rights or fundamental duties. So all these are only the things which comes under the one what we call related to uniformity, and a common all India civil services to man important post. So all these three which are there enshrined in one what we call draft constitution. Similarly, the same thing which is following over there what we call Canada, which is parallel to India, in which what they are going to be maintained. So here one thing you have to note that whatever the integrated form of law which we are following in our country, There is no rule that all the nations have to follow. Suppose if you see some Iran and Iraq, their rules and regulation is different. If you talk about Canada, a little bit parallel to us, and Australia is only like what it says, a system is only an approximation, so up to some extent. So like different countries will have the different rules and regulations based upon their own constitution. So that is the reason our constitution, draft constitution, what we are talking about federalism, these all things are only which we are finding the bulky in which what we find. So that are what they make the one clarity, and federal system in which what we are having the two, to make you the explanation of this, only the two things, what we call state list, central list. State list is nothing but the items which are made on state government. That comes under the one what we call state list. The items which are made on the central government, that comes under the one what we call central list. So central list, state list together called as concurrent list. To make it clear, state list related to state. Suppose if you take TSRTC, Telangana Road Transport Corporation, forestry, fishing, mining, irrigation, agriculture, like related to industries related to state level, like government high schools. So all these are only related to state level. Coming to the central level of the central government, like railways, airways, defense, postal department, banking sector, all these are only the things which comes under the one what we call central. Like more clear to have Union Finance Minister, State Finance Minister, Union Home Minister, State Home Minister, Kendriya Vidyalaya, State Government Schools. So all these are the comparison which makes you clear to have or understand such type of importance, and both together, state and central together called as concurrent list. In such a manner, this is the one what the word which federalism has been characterized to make all these important. So with that regard, all these comparison, like America and India, as I said earlier, India is following single citizenship, America is following as one what we call dual citizenship. No comparing between the two. Like wherever the entire states, wherever the people they reside, but we give the importance as oneness, that is what we call diversity, which makes the one what we call single uniformity, that is nothing but single citizenship. But whereas America, they follow the dual citizenship. And same comparison in our country, president is nominal, but in USA the president is final. So all these are the things which are only enshrined in the word what we call federalism. That makes us clear how to make of all the such type of usages. So in this regard, what was the next they are talking, especially related to one, all India civil services are only the important post which is related, like what we call them as IAS and IPS. IAS, IPS. So these are all India civil services posts in entire nation. IAS is nothing but Indian Administrative Service. IPS is nothing but Indian Police Service. So the drafting chairperson, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, being the first law minister, is an economist, he is an historian, making of all these things, how he has been designed, how he has been architecture, with taking the different views, and he has been made finalized as one what we are following and existing of one what we call this word federalism. So these are the three with which the federalism is going to run the draft constitution, like a single judiciary, uniformity in fundamental laws and civil and criminal cases, a common all India civil services. So these are the things which are enshrined and made of a federal characteristic, in which making of concurrent list both together, state and central together, which works as a one what we call federal system. So this is about the one what we call federalism.